Hi, I'm Tom. This is Lucy, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today I just want to talk a little bit about companionship between cats. Cats are a socially flexible species, and that means that they can thrive alone or in groups. In the wild, they're mostly solitary because that's how they survive. Cats generally don't do too well hunting when other cats are around, so being by themselves can be helpful in that way. But they can definitely form social bonds and have social relationships with other cats. Most of those, however, are formed early in life, generally by cats who are, siblings or adjacent nests, that sort of thing. Cats who meet at a very early age, let's say. Much like children, you can put a couple of toddlers together. They generally get along pretty well. They they have similar interests. But once you get to be an adult, you're a little more picky about your friends as you get older. And the same thing happens with cats. As they get older, they really don't particularly gravitate towards all other cats. Personality plays a large part in it, but their relative age, generally it's thought that cats age 4 and below can accept other cats a little more easily than cats who are a little older. So that brings up really the topic I want to talk about, which is cats who are maybe solitary cats, maybe in a situation where there were multiple cats in a household, maybe one cat passed away or ran away or whatever the situation. Many times we humans, we tend to think, oh, well, they need another friend. That's not always the case. In fact, it really isn't usually the case. It's really much better. I personally believe, and this is an anecdotal thing, this has not been studied extensively, but in my experience with cats, I think that cats have very rich lives when they are only cats. And when they're in situations where they're with very familiar cats where they have positive relationships. Both of those can be really great for them. When you start bringing in other stranger cats, especially in the situation where you have an older cat and you adopt a new kitten as a quote-unquote friend for the older cat, it's pretty unlikely that they're ever going to be friendly to one another. The younger cat will absolutely accept the older cat. Maybe a little too much so. Sometimes they can be a little overzealous in their play requests, and that can make them a bit of a pest. That was what happened with Lucy and Miss Mina. When I brought Lucy in, it was an unusual situation where she had been found, and I was trying to rehabilitate her. And we ended up kind of putting them together just to kind of see what would happen. And Mina really tried. She really tried to accept her. But at the end of the day, Lucy's kittenish-ness was a little bit more than Mina could handle, being an only cat for so many years. So I just caution you not to think of them like they're people, because they're not people. When you bring in another cat, that really, the main advantage to the resident cat is that it can alleviate their boredom. And it certainly can do that. But the likelihood that they're going to be very friendly and cuddle and allogroom and all those things that you see with cats that sleep together and all that, it's just not a likely outcome unless the cats are just of very particular dispositions and they just sort of match. But that's not often the case, right, Lucy? So it's just important to acknowledge that your cat may be better off being alone, especially after losing another companion cat. They need time to grieve just like you and I. And so giving them that time to occupy the space alone, to start really considering that home territory to be entirely theirs as opposed to shared, to understand how resource allotment is going to change in the absence of the other cat. All of these are really important considerations. And there are things that take time. Like if you lose a cat, I totally understand, your perspective that you may want to try to fill that void yourself. I would caution you that that's probably not the best time to go looking for another pet. It really does take a long time. Honestly, I'm still dealing with the loss of Mina, and that's been 4.5 months. And it still feels to me like it happened yesterday. Under no circumstances would I consider adding another cat to my household right now. Lucy is just now starting to really thrive in Mina's absence, and I just don't want to inhibit that process. And I would really like to see what comes of our relationship when it's just the two of us, and to see how that works out and what kind of reactions Lucy has. I do know that she has been sleeping under the covers with me much more often since Mina has been gone. And that has been really nice because, before this, Mina really owned the bed a lot of the time when we drive Lucy away from it. So Lucy's enjoying having that extra territory, and that extra contact with me has been beneficial to her. And I would just like to see her continue to develop in that way and see what happens before I would ever consider adding another cat here. So I just think you should take it slowly. That's all. Before you start adding additional cats, really see how you can enrich the life of the cat you have and expand their horizons. Now, if you feel that your cat is bored, then that's a perfectly valid conclusion to come to. And adding another cat may help that, while it also could exacerbate some negative things. So there's always a give and take there. You may be able to alleviate boredom just with more activity with your cat, or by playing music for them when you're not at home, and by engaging them in ways that challenge them, like clicker training. These kinds of things can help a cat feel less bored, especially a cat like Lucy now is over the age of 6. She's now much more slow in her demands for interaction and for stimulation. She still wants a lot of stimulation. That's her personality. But she has relaxed quite a bit compared to where she was even just 2 years ago. So I really think that it's important to acknowledge that they don't really need a friend in these situations. But if you find that, you think that that's something that could help them with boredom, or if you're not at home for a big chunk of the day, that could be helpful, then be very particular about the cat you adopt. And it can be helpful to adopt a cat that's around the same age and not a kitten that's just go, 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 go every minute of every day, and can drive an older cat, even an active cat like Lucy, could drive her a little crazy. Okay. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.